Hello, welcome to Knitting Needles and Stems. I'm Carrie, I'm your host. This week we're going to be talking about what's on the needles, what's in works in progress, finished objects, and my peace lily that you can see here. Let's just talk a little bit about what's been going on this week. My youngest daughter, had a chance with the middle school choir to sing with the Wisconsin Singers. That was 2 nights in a row on the weekend, and she was really excited about that. They got to sing and dance at the very beginning of their performance, and then we stayed and watched one night of the entire performance. And they are an amazing group of college students who promote the importance of the arts. They're college students who are going to college for all different kinds of things. They're going to be doctors and lawyers and social workers and just everything, and it's just really fun to watch them sing, and they dance, and they have the band, and it was just amazing. Also, this is my busy season at work. I am a senior tax analyst, so the videos may be a little less frequent with the busy schedule, so just be prepared for that. Otherwise, let's just jump right in and talk about my works in progress. The first thing that I've been working on this week is my Olive Juice socks. Olive Juice is the name of the colorway of the yarn from Knit Pigs, and it is a Felici yarn. The Felici yarns are all small lots that they have dyed, so when they run out, they sell out, they're out of them. They can't get any more of them. So this is a set that I'm making, a pair of socks each for me, my husband, and 2 of the kids. My husband's socks are actually already finished and waiting for us to finish ours. This one is my oldest daughter's sock, and I did use the Fish Lips Kiss heel here by Socks Therapist. It has quickly become my very favorite heel to use. This is a finished sock for my youngest daughter. For hers, I did use a broken rib pattern where I knit 2, purl 1 for 1 row, and then I just knit straight across for the other row. And she said she wanted short socks, so I made her short socks, and again with the Fish Lips Kiss heel. All of the feet are done, and on all of the socks. I'm almost done with the second sock for my youngest daughter, and then I just have the legs for me and my oldest daughter, because my oldest daughter said that they want the leg to be as long as they can possibly be. So I'm going to see how much yarn I have left over and make those as long as I can for my oldest. The next thing I've been working on is the Rustic Dreams Sweater by Ladianna Henderson. I'm very sorry if I mispronounced your name. I'm going to go ahead and show you the sweater, and then I'll show you all the yarns that I'm using for the sweater. This is a color work circular yoke sweater. Just the yoke has the color work. The rest of the body is just going to be done in this dark color. So you can see all the colors in there. This is actually yarn that I bought in 2019 on a road trip to Chicago from my home in northern Wisconsin. We stopped at several yarn stores, and I tried to find at least one skein from every store that we stopped at. Some of the stores I got more than one skein at. So here is what I got from Knitch in Delafield, Wisconsin. I was able to find Berroco Ultra Alpaca Fine in the Barley colorway, and Claudia Hand Painted Yarns Addictions in the Cherries colorway, Malabrigo sock yarn, and it just said single lot colorway, so this just must be a single lot that they dyed. And the last one from that shop was the Malabrigo sock in Terracotta. It's a nice orange here. Okay, and then the next yarn store that we visited was Blue Boxer Arts in Eau Claire, Wisconsin. And from that one, I found Darn Yarn MN Finito in the honey colorway. And then on to Chicago. We went to Knit One LLC in Chicago, where I found Leading Men Fiber Arts Showstopper in their Cherry Pie colorway. And Madeline Tosh Unicorn Tails in the Translations colorway. And last but not least, from the Knit One LLC in Chicago, I found Madeline Tosh Unicorn Tails in the Charcoal colorway. All these colors are pretty close to what the designer picked for the original sweater design when she made the sample. And I really liked what the sample looked like. Except her main color was a turquoise teal color, and I chose to use Quince and Company Finch in the Peacoat colorway. This is Peacoat. And this is from Fiddlehead Yarns in Kenosha, Wisconsin. And it's going to be the dark color that I'm going to be using throughout the whole rest of the sweater. There's also, I guess this one got left in the bag when I was writing them down, Quince and Company Finch in the Twig colorway. That was also used in the color work yoke of the sweater. And now I have everything that I just showed you is all left over, so I get to figure out something else fun to make with all of these together, or I can separate them and make something separate with all of them. They're all fingering weight yarns, and they're all a delight to work with because I've worked with all of them now. So again, that is the Rustic Dreams Sweater by Ladianna Henderson. The next thing that I've been working on is for the Saturday Social in the Knitting in the Loft group. This is the Mosaic Trivet by Jennifer Hogue. And for this one, I'm using Knit Picks Comfy Fingering and Planetarium. And I think this other one is Knit Picks Cotton. It's some kind of cotton and linen that's chain plied. And I'm pretty sure that the colorway is honey. So you can see it makes this fun mosaic. It's probably going to be a coaster for me because I'm using fingering weight instead of the worsted weight that it called for. So it called for it to be a little bit bigger, but mine will probably be a coaster. And again, that's the Mosaic Trivet by Jennifer Hogue, using Knit Picks Comfy Fingering in Planetarium and what I think is Knit Picks Cotton and Honey. The next thing that I've been working on is the Nudo headband by January plus July. This is a knit along in the Project a Month group that I'm a part of on Ravelry. We pick a free pattern every month to knit together. This is using alpaca from my local alpaca farm. It's called Joyful Journey Alpacas. You can find them online on Facebook as Joyful Journey Alpacas or Yarn Harmony Gifts. And the Nudo headband is just a headband with a knot. So you can, tie the knot in it, make a rectangle until it goes around your head, and then it's finished. So that's the Nudo headband by January plus July. And I'm doing it as part of the Knit Along in the Project a Month Knit Along group on Ravelry. I've also been working on my Corner to Corner blanket. Corner to Corner is a blanket pattern by Sammy Bristow. And for mine, I'm using leftovers. So random leftovers. I have a bunch from when I started knitting seriously. I would use yarns, and then the leftovers would all just get thrown in a drawer without the label. So I'm not sure what the fiber contents are, what the weight of the yarn is, or anything. So I've been throwing them all together. Yes, all weights, all colors, all everything into this blanket. And I've always heard that once you use so many colors, all the colors go together. And it really seems to be the truth, because there's a little bit of everything in this blanket. I have everything. I don't have lace weight. I did have a lace weight on there, and I ended up getting a hole in it because there was too much tension from the other weight. So I took that out. and everything but lace weight. There's bulky, there's worsted, there's DK, there's sport, there's fingering, and as you can see, all the colors. So pretty much, I don't know what the fiber contents are for this, but it's going to be a nice throw that I can have in the living room for when people get chilly when they're watching TV, or if you just want to sit and read and cover up with a blanket, it'll be perfect for that. Again, that's the Corner to Corner Blanket by Sammy Bristow. And besides fiber arts, I guess another type of fiber arts, I've been cross stitching. I got this kit with some stuff that was given to my husband by one of his friend's wives. And the kit is called Day's End, and it's by Judy Gibson. And I have been working on it more lately than I have as of recently. You can see here I have all of the water done, and the little wolf is up here. I've been working and down in this section. This is going to be rocks down here, but I've been working on it little by little, about an hour a night on Tuesday nights as part of a cross stitch along that I'm doing, just to give us incentive to work on our cross stitch and not just knit all the time. So this is Day's End by Judy Gibson, and that's the counted cross stitch pattern. I like all the different textures that you can create with cross stitch, and the finished product is, I mean, they always look so good when you have the kit with all the different colors and the shades, and it all works together the way that it's supposed to. It's just really amazing. Okay, so that's all for my works in progress. Now let's move on to finished projects. For finished projects, I only have a few. I finished a dishcloth, Twist Stitch Diamonds by Joan Laws, using Knit Picks Dishy in the Verdigris colorway. You can see the little diamonds there. This one was really fun to make. It's just right twists and left twists to make the diamonds. There's no cable needle that you need or anything like that, and it's a nice textured cloth, so it should get your dishes really clean, or if you use it as a body cloth, it should help get your body really clean. It was really fun to make. So this is Dishcloth Twist Stitch Diamonds by Joan Laws, using Knit Picks Dishy in Verdigris. The second thing that I finished, and that was for the Saturday Social and the Knitting in the Loft group. All of my finished projects this episode are from Saturday Social and the Knitting in the Loft group. The next one is just a random snowflake from Pinterest that Jane found from the group. And I make all my snowflakes using crochet cotton. I stiffen them with Epsom salt and water. I don't know how it does it. It's like magic. But this one has already been stiffened. It's just a random snowflake that Jane found on Pinterest. The next one that I finished is the Enchanted Forest Snowflake by Deborah Atkinson. Look at the nice details on that one. Again, I just used crochet cotton. A friend of mine had an aunt who was a crocheter and had a lot of it left over, so she gave me all of what her aunt had left, and that's what I've been using. And this is the Enchanted Forest Snowflake by Deborah Atkinson. She also has a tree that you can make with the snowflakes. You make them in different sizes and stack them up, and it turns into a little tree, and it's really cool. You should probably check it out. And the last thing that I finished is the Honey Mesquite Snowflake by Jessica Wyfall. This one has not been blocked yet. You can see it's a nice little snowflake. I like the smaller ones because they fit into the cards better when I send them out at Christmas time. Again, this is the Honey Mesquite Snowflake by Jessica Wyfall. Now on to the knitting bag of tricks. In the Unraveling podcast group on Ravelry, they're doing a knit along for the Patty Lyons knitting bag of tricks. I started doing my work in my workbook a few episodes ago. Probably the first episode is when I had some content about that. But in order to participate, you have to have the Patty Lyons knitting bag of tricks book, and to go along with it, you have to have the Patty Lyons knitting bag of tricks official workbook. And it has lots of instruction, and it asks you to knit swatches and talk about your swatches. And if you remember from the first episode, I had done my first swatch with the different sections here. It's nice to do them in a light color so that you can see your stitches, and because you're going to read about them and talk about them and answer questions about them. So, and that's in the Unraveling podcast group. And if you don't listen to the Unraveling podcast, it's okay, I guess. You should listen to the Unraveling podcast because they're awesome. But if you don't have to in order to participate in the Ravelry group with the knit along. Just go and join the group and on Ravelry and jump in the discussion. It actually started yesterday, I want to say. Today's January 18th. I think it started on the 17th, but maybe it started today. I had already had mine done before they announced that they were going to start the knit along, but I'm going to try to keep up and follow along with them and keep working on that. So again, that's the Patty Lyons knitting bag of tricks, and they're doing a knit along in the Unraveling podcast group on Ravelry. And this is the Patty Lyons knitting bag of tricks official workbook. Now let's move on to my patterns. Every spring, as sort of a way to celebrate the end of the tax season, I like to have a mystery critter along. I design a mystery critter. I release the pattern on tax day, which is usually April 15th. This year it's on April 15th. And then I release a clue a week for about 6 weeks to make a critter. The first one was an American bullfrog. The second one was a bear. The third one was a cow. The fourth one, oh my gosh. Oh, the fourth one was a dragonfly, and now we're on the 5th year. This is the 5th year that I've done this knit along, and it's a knit and crochet along. It's the same pattern in knit form and in crochet form. So it's always fun. I have a knit along or a make along thread in my Ravelry group, and I put the pattern on sale for the first week. So I will announce to you when it has been released, and I will have a special coupon code for the YouTube podcast watchers. So watch out for that. And that would be my Mystery Spring 2025 make along pattern. And it's for both knit and crochet. So now let's move on to gardening. Today I want to talk about my peace lily. Here's my peace lily. I got this. I don't know if you remember my last episode, I mentioned that my grandmother had passed away. This was sent to her funeral in Kentucky by my dad and my stepmom. So I was expected to bring it home to Wisconsin in my car with my husband and my 3 children and all of our luggage. And we did it. We made it work. We made it home with the peace lily. You can see she still has a couple of blooms up here. She was really struggling. When I brought her home, all of her leaves started to turn brown and droopy. You can see some brown and droopy leaves here, and I would cut them off and I'd water her, and nothing really seemed to help. But I noticed that when I would water, the lily, all the water would just run straight through the pot. It was like the soil wouldn't even get wet. So I decided that it would be best to repot her. So I bought some just regular potting mix, indoor plant potting mix, and a new pot. And I repotted her, and now she has perked up, and she has all these green leaves. She has some new leaves growing inside of here, and these dead ones I have to cut off, but she looks a lot better. I mean, she looks better than she looked when she was straight from the florist. So it's amazing how much repotting a plant can really help them. So just consider that. If some of your plants aren't doing so well, watch the amount of water that's coming out of the bottom when you water them and how fast it comes out. And pay attention to whether it seems like the soil is actually absorbing the water or if it's just running straight through the pot. Because it could be that your plant needs to be repotted too. Okay, well, that is all that I have for today. So until next time, keep on doing what you do what you love, and have fun doing it. Bye.